I think what I like about working with horses with troubles is that I really have an opportunity to make a difference and to help someone. They need someone who doesn't matter if things go wrong. They need to be allowed to check at all times if things are still as you say they are. I never mind if something goes wrong, because that creates an opportunity for me to be able to help them with something again. And that is an opportunity to get out stronger. Overcoming the wrong things together will prove to the horse that I'm valuable to them. And in order for them to be able to believe in me, I need to make the first move and truly believe in them from the very beginning. I have 1000% belief in each and every single horse, no matter what they've gone through in the past. I believe that they're all capable of loving, of learning, of enjoying and making dreams come true. I've got full trust in every one of them, and I honestly feel that it's underrated and unfortunately a bit unknown how much they desperately need the feeling of someone who believes in them. We all need someone who believes in us. And when it comes to horses with troubles, like this horse Marquesh, who came with me in training because he was really tense all the time and he was really frustrated, from which he was biting people a lot and he bucked in the riding. Many people become judgmental towards their horse. Once a horse has showed some negative behavior, that's all people tend to see. He's a biter, so he'll bite. It becomes predetermined and expected of them to be like that, as if the horse is nothing more than that. But if you give them that feeling of failure even before something happened, how can they ever become who they could be? They need someone who believes in the good of them to be able to bring that out. So for me, that's always the starting point of the training. So from the very beginning, I always like to find something really small where they can easily succeed in, because then they get a taste of how different things can be. I never focus on changing the wrong behavior. I only focus on changing the way they look at life, so when things get difficult, they can look for options instead of ways out. I want them to get excited about challenges, but that's only possible if they're not afraid to make mistakes. I see so many different horses, and I'd always like to be that person who believes in the good of them. It's something that I honestly feel from within, and I never judge them on their behavior. Because I know that once they're capable of receiving this feeling, they're capable of feeling proud of themselves and capable of so much more. So I never worry about the problems itself. I just like to imagine what we could become. It's all wrong, but it's all right. And that's something that got stuck in my head lately, and I like the feeling of it. Because in the beginnings, things can be all wrong all the time. But still, they're only wrong if you decide them to be wrong. Because once you start to see that the wrong things can always help you to grow and improve, wrong things are actually the good things. It's like that with horses too. If you look at these things as being a part of the process, you will find progression, and you will not find that much progression in doing things right all the time. So I'm always eager to find the wrong things. You cannot know it all. I never know it all. The horse never knows it all. But the one thing we can know all the time is that we're always in control over the way we perceive things. And this way, the way we perceive things makes the difference for everything. For a horse like Marquesh, who showed a lot of negative behavior, I never feel that it's a personal thing. He was not huggable at all because he would bite you. But he was only acting that way because he perceived things differently, and he wasn't opened up yet so that he was capable of perceiving things in a positive way. So in a way, he needed his behavior to deal with his worries. But he's not determined by that behavior. He is so much more than that. If you honestly want to help a horse, you need to keep that in mind and treat them how you want them to be. It's so easy to go down the road of punishing someone when they do something wrong or undesired. But what you should actually see is that they're already being punished, and all they need is someone to help them get back on the right track. They're already being punished by the feeling they get from being miserable. They are not happy, and bad behavior occurs. Imagine that the next time a horse shows some negative behavior, and try to see that he needs you to help him get back on track. He doesn't need you to punish him and make him feel even worse. It's bad enough that he feels that way and that he hasn't learned how he can deal with these things. So lay your own ego beside and help him get happy. It's never about finding the right answer for an exercise, but it's always about finding better answers for his life. The thing what makes it difficult for people to understand about horses is that it all depends. There is never a one-way solution. It always depends on the intention and the thoughts the horse has about something. And since that is a road that is much more difficult to follow, people easily blame their problems on the horse. I always strive to keep searching for better ways because I know there will be, and I know I will be really thrilled if I find them. The horses are my biggest inspiration. They give me ideas, they make sure I keep searching for more. I'd always like to show them the person who I want to be. That doesn't mean that I always have to be spotless, because wrong things can be right too for that moment of that time. But it only means that I'm always real towards them and always honest about wanting to help. So when you come across a horse, I'd like for you to change your own mindset before you even think about changing his. If you want a better relationship with your horse, or if you want to improve your horse, first improve yourself. If you start to see options and possibilities, you will get things beyond that. Don't see things as personal, because it never is. If a horse shows negative behavior, he simply doesn't feel good. Just always help them. So just as that phrase that got stuck in my head, some things can be all wrong, but that's still always all right. One other thing that's really important once you've made a change for your horse is that he needs to be allowed to check with you. People often like to say that their horse is testing them, and that could be true, but always in a different context than they might think. A horse never tests you because he wants to be a pain in the ass like most people mean. If a horse will test you, he will only test your ability and dedication of being real. He needs you to be true and honest towards him about yourself. He needs to know if he can fully rely on you, so he needs to know if you're able to keep things under control. He asks you if you're really sure, also under different circumstances which he might create. Not because he wants to be difficult, but just because he needs a little confirmation. It will be something that you will be happy to give to your best friend if they're feeling a bit unsure, right? So why do most people want to make the horse feel bad for their simple questions and punish them for it? That's only if you define it as wrong. I'd really wish that people would start to change their minds about this, especially when things have been difficult in the past. Let the horse test you, let him make mistakes. Just always take that as an opportunity to show him that you're still looking out for his best interests, and know that it's a good thing, because it will bring you closer together. I am so proud of the change that Marquesh has made. I love the way he can cuddle now and how confident and relaxed he became. I'm also really proud of his owner, who has always believed in him and never gave up. She knew it had to be possible, but she just didn't know how to help him with this yet. She as well has made such an important change, which is going to help Marquesh, and I'm so happy to see these two enjoying life together. I'm thankful for all the moments I've spent with him, and grateful for the ways he has inspired me.